Hi, Mrs. Bradley here with a tutorial on how to answer the Describe Two Features question, which features on the British sector of the Western Front part of the medicine paper and the Elizabeth section of the Tudor depth option on paper 2. The question will start with the three words Describe Two Features, followed by of. The next bit will be the topic that it wants you to give two features of. In this case, on the paper The British Sector of the Western Front, it wants to know about the effects of poisonous gas attacks on soldiers. The question is a total of 4 marks, which you will only need to spend 5 minutes on. Each feature is worth 2 marks apiece. 1 mark for stating the feature, another mark for giving details. You will repeat this process of giving a feature and then supporting it with detail to gain a total of 4 marks. The paper will be laid out like this. It'll have the question, and then feature 1 followed by lines on which you can write, and feature 2 followed by lines on which you can write. They are only short because you are only expected to spend 5 minutes on this question. You will need to state the feature and then describe it in detail. Again, state the feature and describe it in detail. In this case, you need to describe the effects of poisonous gas attacks on soldiers and give further details. You will need to think back to your revision and the work you've done in class. What do you know about the use of poisonous gas in the war, and what effects did it have? If you look at each of these pictures, they are to prompt you in thinking about what kind of gas was used and the effects that were happening as a result. I will give you a few seconds to think on this. As you can see here, they are letting out gas as a way of attack. Here you can see the effects of chlorine gas affecting the eyes and the ability to see. Here you can see the effect of mustard gas. It had an ability to blister the skin and cause disfiguration with a certain form used. Here you can see the use of phosgene gas. It is similar to chlorine as it affects the ability to breathe. Here you can see a chemical warfare chart for World War I. Each column tells you about each chemical's smell and appearance, the effects that they had, and the rate of casualty that occurred as a result of them. Feel free to pause at this point in this video and make notes as part of your revision. Now that you've gathered your thoughts in the exam and you've remembered your revision on poisonous gas attacks on soldiers, there is a set structure that you can use to help you to write a winning answer. If you state the feature or effect and then describe it in detail and repeat that with the second one, you will succeed. If you look at feature 1, it says one effect of poisonous gas attacks on soldiers was difficulty breathing even with suffocation. This is stating the feature. The next bit is describing the detail. The gas that had this effect was chlorine gas. It can cause coughing, vomiting and irritation to the eyes. You then need to repeat this process for feature 2. Another effect of poisonous gas attacks on soldiers was blistering and burning chemicals on the skin. This is stating another feature. This is our detail. The gas had this effect was mustard gas. The chemical reacted with the skin and some forms of gas caused deformities. This is the mark scheme for that particular question. As you can see, if you state the feature, you get 1 mark, and adding supporting detail gives you another. Again, adding the feature is worth 1 mark, and describing it more is worth the second mark. If you do this twice, you achieve the full 4 marks awarded to this question. But remember, you only need to spend 5 minutes on this question, as there are other questions with a lot more marks on the paper.